On daily commutes with my car, I use the intelligence of my smartphone. I stream my music to the car system and I let the navigation run through my smart device. I believe this is also true for most of you today in the audience. The mByte is the solution for all of us who want an electric vehicle that is connected and intelligent. I'm Maria Molody from PR Europe team here in Munich, and we are happy to welcome you to the first ever press conference here from BYTON. As you can see, we are here at the design studio in Munich, and we are still preparing the market launch of the mByte. So if you hear some noises, this could be our colleagues. Apologies for that in advance. Today, we want to present to you how and when the mByte will come to the European markets. Our CCO, Dr. Andreas Schaaf, will present to you in just a few moments exactly what you need to know about that. Some of you in the audience have already submitted some questions to us, so after Andreas' presentation, we will have a Q&A session. Stay tuned. Now we will hear some words from our CEO, Dr. Daniel Kirchert from Hong Kong.
Dear BYTON fans, firstly, thanks a lot for your great passion and trust in us, and I'm very excited that we seeing such a great feedback for the BYTON mByte from our European fans. And especially after Frankfurt Motor Show and also the CES Las Vegas recently, we see really great feedback for our production car. The reservation numbers have been going up. And today we are also very happy that we can share some more news with you when and how the mByte will come to you. And we will getting more and more great retail partners. And I want to invite my friend Andreas to tell you a bit more details about how we're gonna launch our car in the European market.
Thank you, Daniel. And now, without further ado, I want to introduce to you our Chief Customer Officer, Dr. Andreas Schaaf. Hello, Andreas.
Hi, hello, Maria. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. I love your introduction. You could be a professional speaker on television.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome very much to all of you here from Ismaning, Munich, the BYTON Munich Design Studio. And I think this is a rare opportunity to speak to you in a digital format, which we haven't set up before like this. And originally, as you know, this was planned to happen in Geneva, but then because of the virus situation, we had to decide to move the conference here to Munich. But I'm more than glad that we are able to exchange through a digital way. So BYTON is really at a high speed right. And just to recap a little bit, we are a relatively young company. We were founded in 2016, but then since then there has been so many activities from 2016 on until today, and I'd just like to share some of those with you today. The first time the brand really emerged on a global surface was on IAA 2017. And the BYTON mByte concept, so first time where we really wanted to show, or where we demonstrated to the outside world what we had in mind when we talked about a smart device on wheels, was at CES 2018, when the mByte concept was presented. And shortly after, we had the EU premiere in April 2018 and the start of the prototype production also in April 2018. Very important for us, another milestone was June 2018, when we moved in our global headquarters in Nanjing. The series production interior, so basically the true advantage and the true highlight of the BYTON mByte, was first time presented on CES 2019. And then, very important, last year, I guess a lot of you still remember the highlight, IAA 2019. We demonstrated, we presented the world premiere of the BYTON mByte series production. We started the pre-production shortly after October 2019, and this year, CES 2020, we demonstrated what we really mean by a digital living space, by the fourth space. So we presented various partners that work with us together to make the platform for life a really exciting experience in your BYTON M-Byte. So today we are here out of the BYTON M-Byte Design Studio in Ismaning, of course, to talk about Europe. Our market forecast says that the electric vehicle market in Europe will go up tremendously. From a relatively small or minor percentage today to almost 13% in 2025. So from last year 2% to 13%. That's a tremendous growth that we are expecting in the in the electric vehicle market in Europe. If you look into China, the United States and Europe, and you put them all together, then we're expecting almost 7.7 million electric vehicles altogether in 2025. And out of those 7.7 million cars in 2025, 2.8 million out of them will be contributed through Europe. So that is a very, very significant part of Europe contributing to the overall electrification in the car market. And the good news is that out of those 2.8 million cars here in Europe, approximately more than 700,000 cars will be in the premium space, so premium segment. And this is exactly where the BYTON M-Byte will play. So, and on top of this, which is very, very important, is of course the electric infrastructure, the charging infrastructure. And Europe will reach over 200,000 charging piles and stations very, very soon. So altogether, I think we immediately see this is a huge potential for electric vehicles here in Europe, and certainly for BYTON. So how do we plan now to step in the European market? Let's have a quick recap. We have 65,000 reservations worldwide, and out of those 65,000 reservations, we have more than 25,000 reservations out of Europe. This is a very impressive number, and it clearly shows how much interest there is in Europe for our BYTON M-Byte. And our focus is a premium customer experience in sales and in service. So for the sales part, we are talking about fully exclusive BYTON places, no compromise, absolutely exclusive to BYTON. For the service part, we collaborate with strong partners with an already existing infrastructure in place. And that means there are existing facilities in the service area, and there are existing logistic systems in place, and there are also existing spare parts distribution centers in place. And all of this, you would certainly agree that this is very, very important for a premium brand to get it right from the beginning. On top of this, of course, BYTON wants to go beyond what's already in the marketplace. We definitely want to launch innovative service, mobile service solutions for our customers, be it the pickup service, the drop-up service, be it a remote control, what's happening to your car. So I think you immediately see that there are mobile service approaches as well for smaller service repairs. So you immediately see that this is a very strong combination of existing infrastructure, very experienced partners taking care about service, and on top of that, certainly an enhancement through very innovative elements in the service area. So let me show what a true BYTON customer experience really means. As you know, we signed already multiple MOUs for all major European markets. And the first wave of BYTON markets in Europe are Norway, Sweden, France, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and Germany. And we are here today to announce very concrete 4 partners in Europe. Let me quickly introduce you to those 4 partners. First, Hedin Automotive for BYTON in Norway and Sweden. Hedin has already 125 facilities in Sweden, Norway, Belgium and Switzerland, in which nearly 32 car brands are represented. And you find the top premium brands of the car industry among those represented brands. Louwman Group for BYTON in the Netherlands, one of the largest automotive distributors in Europe. The Dutch family-owned group consists of 69 self-owned outlets and service points for various brands. BYmyCAR for BYTON in France. With almost 80,000 vehicles sold annually, BYmyCAR is one of France's leading car distribution groups, with 83 car dealerships all over France. Modern Driving for BYTON in Switzerland. 40 dedicated service outlets, 7 test drive centers, and 2 mobile pop-up stores. Modern Driving will also be the first European retail partner for BYTON's first flagship store. Yes, we will open the first BYTON Place in Switzerland. We will open the European flagship store in the second quarter of 21 in a unique city-in-city concept, which is called The Circle. And it is a multi-purpose complex within the airport of Zurich. So, all in all, we are driving this acceleration and expansion of BYTON in a very fast manner. Around 20 BYTON places in top locations in Europe until 21. So let's change the perspectives. How does the BYTON M-Byte customer experience look like? We created very early 2 main touch points for customers, the BYTON website and the BYTON app. And if you open the M-Byte visualizer, you can already experience key configuration options, 8 different exterior colors, 5 wheels with up to 22-inch, different interior moods, a 3-seater bench or captain chairs in the rear, and the famous 10-degree inwards rotating seats, the BYTON orbiters, how we call them. Very importantly, the BYTON sales model is a hybrid sales model. So what does it mean, a hybrid sales model? It is an online plus an offline sales model. It really stands next to each other. And we have several touch points with our customers. We have the app and the website. We have retail partner with BYTON Places, and very importantly, we have the so-called Customer Experience Center. And that is a center where you'll find support and help for almost any question with regards to BYTON, by phone or by chat function. And all of this is connected with your individual BYTON ID. We opened pre-orders in Europe in the second half of 2020 with a down payment of 500 euros. And the reservation holders, the current existing reservation holders, they will have a priority time frame for placing their pre-orders. In your daily life with an electric vehicle, charging experience is essential for your mobility needs. And that's why BYTON collaborates with Digital Charging Solutions, or short DCS, based in Munich in Germany. DCS is one of the leading European e-mobility service provider. And this will guarantee access to major charging networks in 28 European countries, with more than 150,000 AC and DC charging points, and access to charging stations of over 450 major charge point operators. So those charge point operators are, for instance, Ionity, Fastnet, Allego, Innogy, New Motion, Isivia, Swiss Charge, and many, many more local utilities. And this is already a very great customer benefit, but I think we offer much more. We have a fully integrated public charging control via the BYTON app and the BYTON stage display in the car. We have cashless payments via the BYTON ID or an RFID card with one contract and one bill only. And we have transparent and fair pricing. The pricing is determined by the charge point operators, full stop. And smart route planner with charging station recommendations will help customers to find the best charging station along the road. When we talk about the BYTON M-Byte, we talk about a true premium SUV, which will be available in different powertrain and battery configurations. Entry level with 72 kilowatt hours battery and rear mounted electric motor, peak output of 200 kilowatts, and a range of up to 360 kilometers on a WLTP range. Then we have the four-wheel drive high performance configuration of 300 kilowatts equipped with a 95 kilowatt battery, and it is designed for a possible range of 435 kilometers. And the two-wheel version offers even a range of up to 460 kilometers on a WLTP range. So I think this is a really impressive range, and that clearly underlines that you can use your BYTON M-Byte as the sole product. Thanks to the very competitive charging capabilities, we can reduce the waiting time really to a minimum. So you can charge the 95 kilowatt version in a typical home charging scenario with up to 22 kilowatts, and the DC fast charging with up to 150 kilowatts. And just to give you a little bit of a time for this, 100 kilometers in around 10 minutes charging time on a DC fast charger. And from 0 to 80 in around 35 minutes. So that makes it very convenient for our customers to be mobile with their electric vehicle. So let's see what that means really for a long travel trip. And although we are here in Munich today, I'll take you now to a trip from Geneva back to our Munich office here. So let's see how that looks like. So first of all, we start our journey in Geneva. And we put in the destination in the BYTON app, or we can put it in the car. So we would like to go to Munich, to Ismaning, to the BYTON Design Studio. And then next, we get different smart routes as a suggestion. And it is very important, of course, that we choose one where you have a charging pile on the road, because you need to charge on your way. So there are a couple of alternatives you can pick from. So there are fast chargers, or there are also AC chargers. Some of them are in the city, some of them are on the highway. So we pick the one that is on the highway, because we don't want to spend too much time in the city, despite it would be nice to have a coffee in Zurich. But we pick the one on the highway, and this will help us to basically charge in 33 minutes from 20% to 90%. And during the time there, while we wait, of course, we like to get a little bit distracted, and we use the 33 minutes, and we make use of our fantastic partnership with Viacom, CBS, and Access, and we watch out of a wide variety of movies. We watch Bob Sponge, and not because I like it so much, SpongeBob, but because my son asked me to put it on. And here we are, we charge, we are at 90% after 33 minutes, and here we go, and we are on the road to Ismaning. So I think this is the way how we think that a really seamless charging experience should look like, and I think this is impressive to see how easy it can be to charge your car from a trip from Geneva to Munich. So ladies and gentlemen, let me really summarize quickly our key messages from today. First of all, BYTON collaborates with strong partners in Europe for A, a premium sales and service experience, and B, for a premium charging experience. And the start of the pre-order here in Europe for the BYTON M-Byte will be in the second half of this year with a refundable down payment of 500 euros. And the first BYTON Place will open in the second quarter 2021 in Zurich. Until the end of 2021, we will have around 20 BYTON Places across whole Europe. Thank you very much for being here today and following our unique digital press conference. And I'm very excited now and looking forward to your questions.
Thank you lots for this great presentation, Andreas.
Thank you, Maria.
As mentioned earlier, we will have now a Q&A session. We already received some questions from you, but if you still want to submit some more questions, feel free to comment in the live chat, which is right next to this video. Let's start with the questions we already received so far. So first question is, who is the target BYTON customer?
Oh, that's a good question. Most likely you're a target customer, Maria, because I like your dress so much. Fits perfectly well to our BYTON brand identity.
Yes, thank you so much. I love your socks. You're wearing some flamingo socks today.
Yeah, I'm not able to pull them up, you know. I'm not so athletic. So no, but seriously, the key. What are the target customers? I think it's a relatively. It's difficult to answer in the sense we have fantastic scientific research done about, you know, what's the target customer. So you have the sociodemographic breakdown, you have everything, the psychological breakdown, lifestyle, etc. But in a nutshell, what I think is the target group for our product. I think it's most likely everybody that's really thrilled by a seamless digital experience in a car. And the reason why I'm saying this is there's lots of frustration in the car, in the area of cars, you know, when it comes to the digital experience. You know, the industry has grown up from basically driving characteristics. You know, if you hear people talking about their car, a lot of people usually talk, you know, like the driving characteristics, how great this is. I've never heard really somebody talking about how amazing, you know, the digital experience is. You know, actually you always hear complaints about it. You know, how difficult it is to put navigation, destinations, how difficult it is to get your phone connected for streaming music, everything you said at the beginning. So I truly believe that this is a huge frustration, yeah? And there should be no reason why you don't have a seamless integration in your car. And I think BYTON has basically come up with the strong belief that we will be the first player in this segment that will really turn the industry upside down. We will basically really let people experience that it is easy to use digital experience inside the car in a very easy way. So similar to what you had, like your aha feeling when you first time used a phone, you know, with the touchpad instead of the little buttons. You know, yes. First time you realize, oh, Jesus, this is really amazing because there's so much easier and so many more use cases. So the same will happen inside the car. So, and I think this is pretty much regardless of age brackets and gender and what else. So it's really for people that want to have this experience.
Sounds amazing, to me at least. So next question is, how much will the M-Byte cost in Europe?
Yeah, that's a good question because I really like to talk about this. And I could talk endlessly about it. So the car costs 45,000 euros, yeah, plus the local VAT or subsidies and whatever you have in local countries. So the base price is 45,000 euros. And with 45,000 euros, people are usually really surprised. You know, if they see the car, what happens regularly, if we do clinics, people get into the car, they look at it, they experience it, and then you ask them, okay, what's your willingness to pay? Where do you think, you know, the car price will sit? And I don't share that with you, but it is way above 45,000, way above, you know. And that's of course very encouraging because it gives us the confidence that we have created a wonderful product for, I think, an unbelievable price point. So people will really fall in love with it, and we will have a lot of interest for the car. The good thing is, I warned you beforehand, you know, that I can talk endlessly about it. The good thing is that this price is universal across all Europe. Yeah? And you don't find many manufacturers that have universal prices. If you would start basically like your telephone calls and everything to what's the best deal, you know, is it in Spain, in Germany, is it wherever, you know, you don't need to do that. You know, we have a one price policy, very easy, because we have a direct sales model. So very transparent, very easy, and an absolutely phenomenal price for the content.
Awesome, thanks for answering that question.
Shortly.
Yeah, shortly. So next question is, will the configurations be available? Will the configurations be the same all over Europe?
Yeah, so we only have one, actually, so we have one universal product. Of course, we fulfill all European legislation and requirements, but when it comes really to the car configuration, it is the same product. The good news is also I think we have a very nice logic on how to tailor your individual product. So we have different trim levels. We have the all-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive. We have two different battery packs. We have different packages on top, you know, for interior packages. We have different wheel designs. We have a black roof or a body-colored roof. So you already see, like, you know, from the way how we put this together, it really started with this belief of an individual product, which is very beautiful, and which really follows the logic and the understanding of, I think, a sophisticated premium world.
Thanks. Next question is the start of production affected by the coronavirus?
Yeah, this is, of course, a very serious question. So the coronavirus has impacted largely, I think, all industries, yeah, and we will most likely see it impacting more industries in the nearby future. We are not excluded from this impact. We have actually resumed our operations in Nanjing in the plant middle of February, but really on a smaller scale, because you need to be conscious, you need to be extremely conscious that the virus doesn't spread more rapidly, and that's why we took all the precautionary measures that we thought are needed to be taken. So the short answer to this is, I still don't know. We are currently really studying this, and I would think that there is an impact, but I can't quantify it at this point of time.
Yeah, that's clear. Thanks. So we have first questions coming in from our live chat. One of the questions comes from HD Motori from, I believe, Italy. When will the BYton be available in Italy?
Yeah, Italy is, of course, it's on our top list, Italy. And the reason for it is that Italy is, of course, a very sophisticated market when it comes to design and style and tech. And that's why I personally can't wait to launch the product in Italy. We will launch it in Italy. It will take, I think, approximately 6 months later than the so-called first wave. But we had to concentrate on a couple of markets first, and then we basically get right into the next one. For Italy, there is already also a partner in place. We have signed an MOU, we have a strategy in Italy, we have a plan for Italy. It will just be the second step.
The second wave, all right, awesome. So next question from Mr. Grant from the UK, and he wants to know, when might we see BYTON in right-hand drive markets?
Yeah, I would love to launch it immediately together with the left-hand drive market, but unfortunately I can't. So UK, very important market, huge market potential, one of the really big EV markets in Europe. As soon as we basically get the right-hand drive developed, we will launch in the UK. Again, also we have a dealer network planned for the UK. We are in partner talks for the UK, but it will certainly I think it will take at least a year after the first launch in Europe.
And Mr. Grant also has a follow-up question, which is, are you looking at business fleet customers too? And will you be forming, or have you already, partnerships with leasing companies to deliver this?
Yeah, so when it comes really into Europe, and again, I think that's a good example, and the question is a good example of the necessity really to work also with strong partners. because of course you can try to turn the whole environment upside down, and you could basically start in, well, you know, we do everything differently. But I think this question demonstrates how important really in many markets, in UK, but in Germany as well, in the Netherlands, you know, how important really the corporate businesses, you know. So you need to have dedicated finance products which really cater for the needs of corporate cars. In Germany, for instance, 70% of all cars that are being sold, or almost 80%, are fleet business. It's not end customer detail business. So you really need to have that in mind. And the answer, yes, we have that in mind. We are working with dedicated companies in the financial area to offer the right products which also cater for the fleet customers.
Thanks for answering that. So next question comes from Dirk Kunde from Drehmoment, and he wants to know if you just recommend a DCS charge card, or do you provide a BYTON charge card to your customers, and will it be free for a starting period?
So this is trying to get a news out of me which I can't share with you at this point of show, because I was told from my team, you know, that I can't share anything with regards to this area. So the first answer is a digital charging solution, really strong partner. I think absolutely brilliant partner, because they are born out of this premium, also out of this premium approach and service, and they cater really with a large offer of charging stations in Europe. So it's a perfect partner. So why are we so happy to work with them? And I think why are they so happy to work with BYTON? Yeah, because beyond the pure charging piles, I think it is important for BYTON to create this experience where you don't have any disruption. You know, usually you need to use different paying methods. You know, you don't have clarity really on the pricing, for instance. And the example that we showed in this video really had all of this in there. So you see which charge point operator, what's the pricing structure, what's the name, and you can pick it. Yeah? And then on top of that, you don't need to worry about any payments, because once you have the BYTON ID, you're connected to a payment method. So everything runs through the BYTON ID. So you can basically work through the whole BYTON stage. You can pick it, and it's going to be paid through basically your payment method behind the BYTON ID. So very easy. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to register anywhere. You don't have various payment cards or methods. Very easy. It's a BYTON focused and a BYTON centered experience.
Sounds extremely convenient, for sure. So next question comes from Franz Rother from Germany. Have you said already in which volume you will bring the car to Europe, and do you have special lease rates for business customers?
Yeah, so the special lease rate for business customers, I think we captured this before. Yeah, so let's answer it this way. We are absolutely conscious about, you know, the business customers. And we will work out a program for business customers, because that's needed. We need to have competitive rates for the business area, because that's a large segment. And yes, we will launch Europe end of next year. And I can't tell you really what's the precise allocation out of the plant for end of next year, because this would be way too early. My logic and my gut feeling tells me that after you have an established process, because we launched China much earlier, you have an established process, then basically launching Europe should be much easier. And then let's see how quick we can ramp up the volume. I would expect by them to have a significant number of reservations or binding orders out of all those markets. So there will be certainly big demand, and we have to see how quick we can indeed ramp up to fulfill the demand. But there will be certainly some waiting period.
Okay. Well, thanks for answering that. And the next question comes from Frederick Sandberg. Will the car get regular software updates, and what level of autonomy?
Oh, so yeah, the car definitely has regular updates. I think this is a great question, because there are offers out there in the car industry which really shows that you can really turn this whole car industry, or the logic of the car industry, you can turn it upside down. If you remember in the past, you know, like the established players, you bought the car, you know, and then you knew that's your car, and except perhaps the map, you know, which got an update every 2 years. Yeah, I can't recall having seen any updates back then, you know. So, and then, you know, and I think what happened, you know, with the introduction also of Tesla, that they really showed what it means if you have a product and which constantly, you know, gets updated and constantly keeps being fresh. And I think this is amazing what the company has achieved. And for BYTON, I think we bring it even to a different level, to a high level, because we have this fantastic digital experience. And this digital experience is never ready in the sense, you know, I mean, when we launch it, it will continuously evolve. I mean, that's why we developed the whole digital experience, because we thought, like, who on earth can anticipate 8 years in advance? Nobody can anticipate it. So we need to find a solution on putting a hardware there which allows us to constantly update it. So the digital experience will constantly update it through new partnerships, for instance, through new content. And that's exactly the idea of the whole car. And then on top of that, for instance, was mentioned the ADAS features. ADAS features, indeed, yes, there will be a constant update on this. And the good thing is that right from the beginning, we have incorporated the hardware, so the sensors are being built in there. We have, for instance, also 3 flat antennas in there for our 4G connectivity, which is able to be upgraded to a 10G. You know, so there's hardware incorporated in the car which allows us for those updates, and we will extensively use it to basically keep the product fresh.
All right. Yeah, that sounds very convincing and very convenient as well. So next question comes from World Shopper. Is the green color of the car in the background an option?
No, this is only the option for our head of design, because he loved this car so much, and I think there are not many other people, perhaps, you know, which falls in love with this car. I like it as well. No, it's not. It's not an option. You know, it's not an option. You know, so if the color is requested, as always, BYTON loves to take input. We call it co-creation events. Send me an email or Maria, and if we get enough votes for it, then I might convince the company to offer it as a standard color.
Thanks. So next question comes from, I hope I pronounced it correctly, Jeroen Horlings, who wants to know which manufacturer will supply the battery packs and what kind of chemistry is being used.
Oh, fantastic. You talked to the battery expert of the company. No, I'm responsible for selling the car. But actually, the supplier is CATL, so really the key supplier in battery technology. And these are lithium-ion prismatic cells, so which is the standard in the industry, and CATL is the supplier. And by the way, CATL is not only the supplier for those batteries, CATL is also invested into the company. And you can imagine that this is certainly not a disadvantage of having the key supplier for batteries being also an investor and a shareholder of the company, because we are confident that we get the requested batteries for the car.
All right, next question comes from Hack for Life, and they want to know, is there any roadmap to expand the market to Austria?
Yeah, of course. You know, of course there's a roadmap to expand the product to Austria. So we haven't talked about it today, but Austria, we will be in Austria. We have already a partnership signed, an MOU for Austria. And this will be exactly the same as, you know, what we talked about Italy before. Austria is definitely on the rollout map, and it will be there pretty soon after the first launch. All right.
Another question from World Shopper. You have presented BYTON European partners, but you didn't mention Salvador Cateno in Portugal, ...
Yeah, because, so we have signed an MOU with Salvador Cateno in Portugal and Spain, for Portugal and Spain. And we are just about basically to finish now the final contracts. So I would expect this to be finished very soon. And we will definitely also be, we will be having a very good solution for Spain and for Portugal. And as I said, we will announce this most likely in a couple of weeks.
All right, another follow-up question from Hack for Life. Speaking of 4G, do the customer need to buy a dedicated mobile plan for the BYTON?
No, it's actually included. So it's included in the car price. So that's one of the services that comes along with the product. So we will make sure the product is connected, and that you get all the digital content inside the car, and you don't need to sign anything additional.
Awesome. So next question from eMobili. They want to know when and where will test drives for customers start?
Yeah, that's also, of course, a key question and of great interest. We will start from next year. As we said, we will introduce the car in Europe end of next year, and we will start test drives next year in Europe. Because it wouldn't make really sense too much in advance, to start all those activities. There's a sophisticated plan behind with a ramp-up curve and an excitement curve and all of this, and all of this is geared towards end of next year. So a little patience most likely is needed.
Yeah, you're smiling because I think you saw the next question already, which is
no,
coming.
I haven't seen it.
Ah,
no,
okay.
I haven't seen it. But
it's our favorite question. So Frederick,
then I know which question you're talking about.
Frederick Sandberg wants to know, will it have a tow bar?
Oh yeah, I knew that somebody will come up with this question, because it is a key question, especially for Norway. I was told that I don't know, I forgot the percentage. 40% of the people in Norway, they all tow caravans and boats and all of this. So unfortunately, the answer is no. We have not incorporated in our product. It doesn't mean that we will not be able to incorporate it at a later stage, but from a philosophy point of view, we had to prioritize really where to put the money, and we needed to put it really on the digital experience, and that's why when we had to make the choice and the trade-off, we decided not to incorporate it at the beginning.
But if not today, then maybe tomorrow. Who
Perhaps.
knows? Thanks a lot, Andreas, for answering all those questions. And if you still have some follow-up questions, please feel free to submit those to our email address, eu.pr@byton.com. We will make sure to answer all of your questions. And the last word belongs to you. So.
Oh, thank you very much, Maria. You're too kind. So I think this was a great interaction. I really love this. I think it is great to have the chance to really share the latest news about BYTON. And I think really when it comes to Europe, what I really like to send out is we are on track to launch the car in Europe. The M-Byte will be launched in Europe end of next year. We will start pre-ordering here the second half of this year for the M-Byte with a down payment of 500 euros. And the really good news is we have planned for over 20 BYTON places in Europe by end of next year. And the first BYTON place will be in Zurich, in a fantastic location, and you will just love it. And I can't wait really to invite all of you to Zurich to experience our first BYTON place in Europe. Thank you very much for being here today and listening to what we shared. And I'm looking very much forward to meet you next time in person. Thanks a lot.